Hey beautiful women, how are you? I hope you're having an amazing day. I just might wait a sec for some people to jump on. If you're watching the replay, pop replay down below. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I love to hear that this is a global group. There's people all over the world. I love to hear that. So please pop in where you're tuning in from today as you jump on. Today, I am talking about emotions, right? Your emotional guidance system. So the importance of listening to your emotions, understanding your emotions and what they mean, and how to use them to create, to manifest the success you want, the love you want, the money you want, all of those things, right? So teaching you how to understand them. So your emotions are always guiding you, right? Your emotions are always guiding you. But are you listening? Are you listening to them, right? Because they are they are your guidance system. If you feel good, this is the basics of it, right? If you feel good, you are creating what you want. And if you feel good, what your thoughts are in alignment with your inner being or your higher self, right? If you feel bad, you are creating something that you don't want. And if you feel bad, your thoughts are going against your inner being or your higher self. So here's the thing, your inner being or your higher self or your soul, whatever you want to call it, that bigger part of you that is all loving, all knowing, connected, that part of you only has positive thoughts, positive expectations, positive feelings, right? That part of you doesn't listen to any of the BS stories that you tell yourself, right? So if you are feeling just off, anxious, worried, deflated, down in the dumps, whatever it is, depressed, like all of those emotions, all of those negative emotions that feel bad, like I said, even just feeling a bit off, right? Feeling a bit constricted, like feeling a bit anxious or worried, all of those emotions are guiding you. All of those emotions are letting you know that what you are thinking is going against your inner being or your higher self, right? The thoughts behind those emotions, it's the thoughts behind it that are creating the emotion, right? So the emotion, like if you're just feeling off or anxious or worried, the emotions are the byproduct of the thoughts, okay? So what you need to do is to really powerfully change your life, you need to just tune in more to how you're feeling in every moment, all day, every day, how you're feeling, right? How you're feeling matters. So when you're getting in touch with how you're feeling, if you are feeling off or anxious or worried, stop and ask yourself, hey ladies that are jumping on. So today, just quickly, we are talking about your emotional guidance system, how your emotions guide you and how they can powerfully help you to manifest your desires, right? So your emotions are your guidance system. So whenever you're feeling off, whenever you're feeling bad, worried, anxious, deflated, it's the thoughts behind that are creating the emotion. So if you're feeling deflated, you are having a thought that goes against your inner being or your higher self or your soul, right? You're having a thought, it could be something like, I don't think I'm good enough to do this. I just don't think it's going to happen for me. I'm not sure how I'm going to make this work. Like whatever it is, the thoughts that you're having are going against your inner being or your higher self or your soul, whatever you want to call it. And that is why you are having that negative feeling, right? Does that make sense? So your emotions are the guidance. If, on the other hand, if you are feeling joyful, expectant, excited, lit up, like so full of just love and joy and passion, then the thoughts that are behind that are totally in line with your inner being and your higher self and your soul, right? So it's always about listening to your emotions, how you're feeling, tuning into your feelings, and then asking yourself, what are the thoughts that are creating this emotion? If you're feeling good, don't question it, go with it, right? But if you're not feeling amazing, if you're feeling deflated or anxious or worried or stressed, sit down and ask yourself. I mean, I always recommend journaling is a great way to do this. Sit down and ask yourself, what are the thoughts? What are the thoughts that I'm thinking that are creating these feelings? Okay, because it's the thoughts that you're having, it's the story that you're telling yourself that's creating the emotion, and that is creating what you don't want, right? So anytime you feel bad, you're actually drawing to you something that you don't want, right? You're creating the opposite of what you want. So this isn't just about some positive thinking BS, right? Like, it's not just about think positively, go around and just think happy thoughts. It's about listening to your emotions, right? Feeling them, going, oh my God, I feel a bit constricted, I feel a bit deflated, I feel a bit flat, I feel a bit off. What's going on here? What are the thoughts behind it, right? What are the thoughts behind it? So it's tuning into those, it's really listening to those and being able to shift that thinking. So for example, I just want to give you some examples, right? So let's say, for example, someone says no to you, right? So if you've got a business and you're trying to sign clients or team members or customers, and someone says no to you and you feel flat, right? You feel deflated, or, you feel upset about it. Now, it's not the fact that someone said no to you, right? It's not that act of someone saying that word no to you that is making you feel bad. It's the story that you're telling yourself about what that means, right? One person said no to you, but it's the story you're telling yourself about what that means. So some stories that you might be telling yourself, which I've certainly told myself in the past: maybe I'm just not that good at this. Maybe no one's going to join my team, or maybe I'm not going to get any clients. Oh my God, this is so hard. Where are all those people that, am I ever going to be any good at this? Am I ever going to do this, right? It's those stories behind someone saying no. You can be telling yourself a different, and this is the thing that I want you to get. You can choose to tell yourself a different story. You getting a no doesn't have to make you feel bad. You can get a no and you can choose to tell yourself a story. That's cool. They're not my people. Or it's not the right time for them. My people are out there. My clients, my customers, my team members are out there, and the right people will say yes to me. And I am drawing in, I am magnetic to my soul aligned peeps. They are coming to me, and it doesn't matter if that person says no. They're just not the right person, or it's not the right time. And that's okay. It means nothing about my ability to create what I want, right? How much better does that feel? Okay. But that story is a choice. So what I want you to tune into is how you're feeling. When someone says no to you, how do you feel about it? Right? Does it just is it water off a duck's back, or does it get you down? And if it gets you down, spend some time asking you, what are the stories, the bullshit stories that you're telling yourself? Because this is, like I said, whenever you're feeling bad, it's that your thoughts are going against your inner being or your higher self. So if you're telling yourself these stories, oh, I'm never going to do this. This is so hard. Why isn't anyone signing up with me? Those stories go against the truth of who you are. And so when I talk about coming back to the truth of who you are, this is what it's about. It's about connecting back to this higher part of you, this bigger part of you, your soul, or whatever you want to call it, that is all knowing and all loving and only has the best for you, right? Only thinks the best for you, only knows that you are an all-powerful creator and you're limitless. So if you are having thoughts that go against that, like, I'm not good enough, I don't think I can do this, this is so hard, then you will feel bad, because that's being disconnected from the truth of who you are, right? Let me give you another example. So let's say you had a goal for the month, because we're on the 1st of July now, right? So who got their goal for the month? Who had a goal for the month and who created it, right? Now, if you didn't create it, how are you feeling about it? Okay, how are you feeling about it? Because the thing is that if you're feeling, like I said, deflated, down in the dumps, all those kind of just flat emotions about it, it's not whether or not you hit that magic number, whatever it is, right? Because that's an arbitrary number. At some point in the month, the start of the month, you just made up that number. You went, this is what I want to do this month, whether it's a number of new clients or new team members or a money goal. You just made that up, right? It's just plucked out of thin air. I mean, perhaps it's based on, well, last month I did this, or this is just what I want to create, but it's an arbitrary number, okay? And so how you're feeling about it isn't the fact that whether or not you hit this arbitrary number. Again, it's the story that you're telling yourself. It's the story. Awesome, Stephanie, you got close. Awesome. If you're feeling, like I said, flat and dejected or defeated, ask yourself, what's the story I'm telling myself? And I guess, again, some common stories are, I'm never going to achieve this, I'm not good enough, this is so hard, all of those sorts of things. So it's about identifying the feeling and then going behind it to find the thought behind that feeling. If you didn't get your goal and you're feeling amazing still and you're like, okay, cool, but I got close and it's okay because I know where I'm going, I know what I'm creating, then those thoughts are in line with your higher self, with your inner being. Okay, those thoughts are in line with what the truth of who you are knows to be true. You can create what you want. You can expand. People will say yes to you. You've got a beautiful gift to offer the world, right? That is the truth of who you are. Hey, Sally, how are you? So it's listening to the feelings and then going in and asking yourself, what is the truth here? What is the truth here? What are the thoughts that I'm thinking that are creating these feelings? So anytime you feel something, it's because of the thoughts that you're thinking, right? Our emotions are the byproduct of our thoughts. So if you're just feeling flat and you just think, oh, I'm just like in this, like, I don't know, I'm in a bit of a funk, I'm just feeling a bit flat at the moment, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's just the stories that you're telling yourself. It's the limiting stories that go against the truth of who you are, right? That is why you're feeling flat. That's why you're feeling in a funk, because you're telling yourself lies. lies. And when you get real with that, you can shift it. That is the first thing. I mean, the first key to everything is always awareness, right? If you don't know what's going on, how the hell can you shift it? So like I said, uncovering what the thoughts are, and then your work is to shift them. Your work is to shift the thoughts. And like I said, just by powerfully identifying them, right? Just by powerfully identifying them, you can often shift them just by kind of acknowledging them. Like if you think, why am I feeling so shit about not reaching my goal for the month? And you write down, like, journal all these things. If you write down, well, I'm telling myself this story that I'm never going to get there, I'm not going to make it happen. Ask yourself, is this the truth? Is this the truth? Is this my reality? Is this all I'm capable of? Right? When you start to uncover it, you'll realize, even just sometimes with clients, and this is the power of like talking to someone else, right? It doesn't have to be a coach, it can be a friend. Sometimes when you say things out loud, you realize how stupid they sound, right? Oh, I'm telling myself this story, I can never do it because I missed my goal by this much. I mean, how ridiculous is that? It's just ridiculous, right? And when you say it out loud or write it down, when you admit it to yourself, often you can actually diffuse it just by letting it go. Stephanie said the universe can be a better storyteller than we could ever imagine. We need to let go and trust the process more. Yeah, we need to let go, right? We need to let go of some things. We need to let go. If you're wanting to manifest your desires, right? Yes, you want to let go of the how, but you don't want to let go of the responsibility and the process and how you're feeling, right? So this is the thing, and I've talked about it before, life reflects you. So if you're not getting exactly what you want, you are choosing not to create it, right? It's not that the universe, there is not some, whether you believe in God or the universe or whatever it is you want to believe in, I'm not here to tell you what you call it, but that bigger entity, it's not sitting up there on some throne going, I get to decide when you can have that thing, okay? Your divine timing is just you being in alignment, right? It's just you being in alignment. So in terms of letting go and trusting, I think a lot of people use that as a bit of a scapegoat to deal with their own shit, right? So I tell my clients to trust for sure, but when they are in a place of full alignment. So what that means is checking in every day with how they're feeling about their desires, having crystal clear goals, knowing what you want to create, being able to check in with how you're feeling about that every day. And then when the resistance comes up, because it does, right, for all of us, we get resistance, we get limiting thoughts. It's about having the tools to shift it so that you are shifting into a place where you feel excited, lit up, expectant, joyful, hopeful, all of those things about your desires coming. And then it's about trusting and letting go and letting go of the how and trusting the process, right? It's about not being attached to the outcomes. It's about trusting how it comes to you. But don't let go and trust the process if you feel shit about your desires. If they make you feel uncomfortable, if you're feeling deflated, if you're not feeling confident that they're coming, then you are creating the opposite of what you want, okay? There's no magic universe that's delivering it to you in some divine timing. You decide on your divine timing. You decide when you're ready, and you are ready when you choose to release all of your resistance, which is and the resistance is all of these limiting thoughts that are blocking it, right? The most powerful emotions are love, hate, and fear. So when you're stuck in hate and fear, you are creating the opposite of what you want, right? So if you are fearful if you really, really want something, but you are fearful of it not coming, if you are fearful of people saying no to you, if you're fearful of failing, of what people are going to think, then you are literally repelling it faster than you can bring it towards you. So your wanting of the desire doesn't create. It is your belief and your feeling around it. So when you shift into that place of love and gratitude and knowing, right? Knowing your desires are coming, then yes, trust and let go. But don't let go before that point. Does that make sense? So, the thing is with emotions is that, like I said, your thoughts and your emotions become the vibration that goes out there to the universe, right? So that's what I talk about, your energy. It's your thoughts and your emotions are energy, and energy has no time and space. So when you have a thought that has emotion behind it, it lands with who it needs to land to. I was just talking about it with the client this morning. You could literally be sitting on your couch, watching Netflix, hanging out, having fun, but feeling really good about your desires coming, what you're manifesting, your goals, and someone could reach out and sign up with you or ask to work with you, right? You don't actually have to be taking action on your business to create what you want. You just have to be in that place of expecting it, knowing that it's coming, and that creates. And I'm not saying you don't ever take action on your business. Yes, you do, because when you are excited about it and expected about it happening, then you are excited to take action and be a part of that process, right? But it's your energy that is magnetic. It's your energy that draws people to you. And that comes from your thoughts and your emotions. Like I said, your emotions are the guidance, right? Like if you're feeling amazing, you're creating what you want. If you're feeling shit, you're creating the opposite of what you want. And this is a thing, like 9% of people on the planet never utilize their full potential because they just run on autopilot. They're just like, I'm in a bit of a funk. I'm feeling a bit flat at the moment. I'm just a bit stressed, right? Like that, you choose that. You get to choose that story because you're choosing the stories. Whatever you think you're stressed about, you are choosing the story behind that feeling, right? Okay, let's even say you've got a job and you're stressed because your boss has put a lot of demands on you. There are some thoughts that you're having about your ability to meet those demands, your ability of what it means if you do or don't meet those demands, your thoughts about how you can stand up or what you can say to your boss. There's a whole lot of thoughts, or what this job means to you, what it would mean to you if you lost this job. There's the idea of being stressed. It's still just the thoughts that you're having about that situation. It's the meaning that you're giving to it. Does that make sense, ladies? So once you have a desire, right? Once you have a desire and then you learn how to tune in with these feelings and then release this resistance, right? Release these limiting thoughts. Your emotion is the fuel. So if you're feeling a lot of fear, like I said, you're bringing towards you what you don't want. But when you sit in that place of positively expecting your desires to come, when you're sitting in that place of love and joy and trust, faith, knowing that it's happening, you are amplifying your desires, right? And I get all the women I work with, I get them to do a lot of journaling, but really journal on their vision, what they want to creating, feeling those feelings as well, because tuning into that amplifies it, right? It amplifies. When you amplify that emotion, you speed up how fast that desire comes to you. So your emotions are not only your guidance system, but they are also the fuel to create your desires. The more excited you are about your desire actually happening now, the faster it will come. And I did a post yesterday. What was it? Your abundance expands proportionately to your desire, right? So if your goal is to make $1,000 this month, then your abundance, the possibility of your abundance expands to that. If your goal is to make $100,000 this month, your abundance expands to that. There is no limit, right? There is no limit. The only limitations are the ones that you put on yourself. And all day, every month, every week, if you're not getting what you want, then you are blocking that flow. You are blocking that flow. There's not divine timing. There's no one else, no other thing deciding when it's time for you. It's about you stepping into your true potential. Right, so you releasing those limiting thoughts that you're still hanging on to, those stories about why you can't have it, why you're not ready yet, why, you're not experienced enough, or you're not good enough, or all of those stories, they're the only things blocking your flow. So listen to the emotions, right? Listen to the emotions. When you think about your desire coming, if it doesn't give you butterflies with excitement, if it's especially if it's on the other end of the scale, if it's deflated and worried and anxious, then you are literally repelling it, and you will not create your desire from that space, right? It's about being able to utilize those positive emotions to bring it to you. So like I said, the reason when you really, 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 really want something, the reason it really, really, really doesn't come is because you are focusing on it so much, but with lots and lots and lots of constricted, worried, fearful energy. And I am an expert at this because I did this for such a long time, where I put so much energy into my business, but it was always anxious and worried and fearful of failure, right? And so that's what I created. Right? I created no clients and no money, and I created failure because that's where my energy was. It's what my emotion was. When I shifted to releasing those limiting thoughts that were holding me back and being excited about my desires coming, knowing that my work was powerful, knowing that I could change people's lives, then I did, right? Because my expectant energy was positive and excited, and that attracted people to me that wanted to blow up their business and change their life, right? And it's the same for you. It's your emotions. It's how you feel about what you're creating that does create. So it's really, really tuning into those emotions. What else did I want to say? So just shifting your focus is what fuels your desire. Shifting your emotions is what fuels your desire. So your emotions guide you. Listen to them. If you're feeling off, like I said, worried, anxious, any of those things, ask yourself, what am I thinking? What are my thoughts about this? Because it's those thoughts that are creating the emotions. Shift them, right? You got to shift those thoughts. And then, like I said, tune into the absolute opposite, why you are super excited about what you're creating, the vision of what you're doing. Tune into that. Be so excited about that coming. Feel the positive, like I said, butterfly energy of that happening, and you will create it. It is law, right? This is the law of attraction. What you feel, what you think, what you feel, you create. It attracts more of it. So the more and more you sit in that positive, expectant energy, the more abundance, clients, whatever it is, will flow to you. So use your emotions to fuel your desires to come faster, but first of all, tune in and listen to them, because they are seriously your guidance system. I hope that's been helpful. If you've got any questions, let me know, beautiful ladies. So grateful for each and every one of you that tuned in. And like I said, let me know where you're tuning in from. I love to know. It's a global group and there's women all over the world, and I absolutely love that. And I look forward to coming in here and sharing more with you. And most of you will probably know, but I am so super excited that I've got my group program starting in less than 2 weeks. Amanda is in. So excited. Amanda's just joined. the 8-week group program, Quantum Expansion. So if you're ready to up level and you're really ready to be able to release all this resistance and honestly manifest your desires fast, then come and join me. Send me a message if you want to know more. It starts in 2 weeks. I'll pop a link in the comments for anyone who is ready. Awesome. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.